everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. So we are back at the junkyard, the private junkyard, to start working on another project. But what could that project be? So something a little different, a little out of my wheelhouse, but hey, it's pretty cool. So let me turn you around so you get to see what we got. This here is what we're going to be working on today. I have no idea about anything about it, but it's an International R160 series, whatever that means. But it's got some cool graphics on it. And it's just something that caught my eye out here that has me interested in doing a revival on it if I can. Now, the only history I know on it, and this is from the owner of the lot here, is that it ran when parked and it had a brake issue. So we're going to find out what we got under the hood. We're going to do a little walk around here and see what we got. From the quick research I did on this, it's an R162 is what the serial says. And these were just produced between 1953 and 1955. So it's either 53, 54, 55 model year. So, and I'm not sure everything about this thing. I haven't looked at anything on it, but is there any chance it's a dump bed? It has something. It's got, what is that, 2-speed rear end maybe? It's pretty cool looking. Got a lot of raccoon poo in here. See what else we got back here. I mean, it's a big old, oh, it is a kind of a dump bed, isn't it? It's even got a slider. This is cool. Got a little sliding door here. And yep, it is hinged. Got a hydraulic cylinder up there, maybe. Could be the tank. Keep looking around, see what we find. I don't know, I got visions of a nice low riding ramp truck for this. Or something, you know, some kind of tilt bed maybe. But does it have hydraulics? Can't see nothing right here. But it does have a 2-speed rear end. You see it right there. Right there. Be nice and loud. So it is PTO driven. There's a little blast on here. Right there's a PTO pump. Assuming it goes to a pump of some sort. Yep. There's the hydraulics. Pretty cool. So it is a tilt bed. Does it have air brakes? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it's not an air issue, which is cool. So it's a nice big flatbed, dump bed. Really cool. It's a total mess in here. Do some more investigating in here later, but it's disgusting. But I think the next thing we got to do is open up the hood and see what we got. All right, so let's get this thing opened up. Just so you know, it's the end of April and it's like 50 degrees out here. So it's chilly. Yesterday was like 92 and it's been in the hundreds lately. So kind of curious what Oklahoma's thinking. She just can't seem to make up her mind. Oh, look at that. Oh, no way. You can flip open either way. That should make removing the hood a little easier, huh? I need to leave one of them latched. So that's not. Oh, there we go. Well, good thing it doesn't feel very heavy. Oh no, not at all. Now what in the world do we have in here? Looks like a form of an inline 6. It's got an alternator, so that means it's been converted to 12 volt, which is good. Distributor, missing some plug wires. Oil bath air breather. But it's on there, so that's a good thing. Hopefully that kept the rodents out. I guess the next thing is just to test to see if we can get her to spin over or not. The belt's pretty loose. Got a battery cable here, battery cable here. It's still 6 volt, is it? They just have the colors wrong, because hopefully it's not negative or positive ground, whatever. Let's see if we can get this thing to spin over. So it is pretty windy out here today, so try to get my microphone going, so hopefully it doesn't seem to want to spin. You have a nut on there? No. Oh yeah, there is. Holy crap, that's huge. I don't think I brought anything that big. Well, any way to get to the flywheel? Doesn't look like it. I do have a crescent wrench. Let's try that. Yeah, I think I can get in there with this. Not the fan there. Oh, maybe from down below. Well, crap. Make sure it's out of gear first. Yep, definitely out of gear. Oh yeah, there it goes. Had to go backwards a little bit first. All right. It won't go forward. Just can't get a good, but yeah, it's spinning backwards fine. Well, that's something. All right. It just doesn't want to go forward. Let's check the oil real quick, just to make sure there's some in there. Oh yeah. Pretty dark, but plenty in there. So that's cool. Coils there, distributor, new wires. I got wires for that style cap too. I'm sure the points are going to be completely screwed. Looks like an oil filter. But yeah, we know it does rotate. Just can't get it to rotate forward because can't put enough tension on the belt. All right, so we got a good starting point. All right, so I went home, grabbed some more tools. And I mean, the real reason I went home was for other reasons. I had to take care of some business, if you know what I mean. And it's not that far from here, so it was worth making the trip home. Ouch. I left my crescent wrench here. Trying to figure out what size the socket is. If I do figure out what size it is, I don't think I can fit a socket on there. There's not enough room. Seems to be bigger than 1 1/8. So 1 1/4. Like I said, even if it is, I don't know if I can fit a wrench on there. Wow, it's bigger than that. What's next? 1 5/16. Inch 3/8. We're just going too big and not getting it on there. I don't freaking know. Huh. I can't imagine it's that much bigger. What to do? I just noticed it's got a front engine mount. Suppose I could just do it the easy way and hook a battery to it, see what it does. Wretch. Poop everywhere. Well, we know it does spin. I mean, it's backwards, but it spins. Doesn't feel crunchy at all. Definitely compression. All right, we're just going to do it the way we shouldn't do it. We're going to throw a battery in here. and see if she'll crank. I'm hoping this is supposed to be a ground, and that's power. It's definitely a bigger lug. So, all right, that's what we're gonna do. Always gotta go with what Derek says, right? Get a battery with a go handle. This is actually out of the 1 ton. Let's see if it'll fit down in there. Oh yeah. Okay, this wire is really bad. I do have other cables I can use, but I'm gonna go ahead and I grab the battery cable cleaner. Maybe not. Well, let's just see what happens. No sparkies. My trigger here. I'm gonna guess it's probably that one. Now, should I take the spark plugs out and check them and spray some stuff down inside the cylinders? Well, if it would have been completely stuck up, I probably would have, but I'm not too awfully worried about it. See if she'll crank. Let's hope it doesn't run me over. Nothing. Probably not getting good connection, are we? Let me go grab the battery cleaner and we will clean these off a little better. I don't know if that cable is going to make it or not, but we'll see. Still nothing. Not even clicking. Let's see if we're getting power down here. Oh, we're getting power to the starter. So our connections are good. Oh, there. I'm going to do something. Oh, look at that. Get something to tap that with here. I don't like to crank with the switch. If I ground the posts together, then it does. Yeah, that starter's not too happy right now. This is the battery. I need to charge this one up. It might be a little low. Yeah, the fact of the matter is it cranks, so if we can just keep it to get it to crank, then yeah. Let's see what we got underneath the hat here. What in the world is all that? Look at that. Still has oil in it. And it's clean. I don't want to make too much of a mess over here. Highly doubt we have any kind of power to the ignition. We don't trust these cables. Oh, that spark plug's loose. Hey, the spark plugs are nice and loose. Maybe we should pull them out, and since they're loose, pull them out and see what we got. I don't think I brought a spark plug socket. Might be one in my tool case. Is there a key in this thing? There is a key. Oh my God, and it works. Is that a fuel pump? An electric fuel pump here? That sounds kind of weird, but should we just try cranking it and see what happens? We are missing a few spark plug wires. Our battery is dead. Yeah. We have enough juice. The starter's just not happy. All right, I'm gonna have to grab the other battery. We're gonna go ahead and pull the spark plugs out though. Let's let it rotate a little bit more freely. All right, we got fresh battery, new cable to the starter. And so far I think we're doing pretty good because put that up, hit the button. She's cranking pretty strong. So I think we're good on that. So now we're gonna test power to the ignition. See if we have that. If we have that, I got new wires, so we'll switch out wires so we can figure out if this thing will run or not. And you see I spilled a little bit of the oil from the oil bath. We got to get that off of there and out of the way so we can access the carburetor to perhaps add some fuel to it. This has an electric fuel pump on it, so I don't know if there's any fuel in it yet. I'm going to have to disconnect the line right there to find out, but it shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, so let's start testing power. All right, so it's another chilly day and the wind's kicking up pretty good in here, so got the microphone going. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the key on, and looks like there's a ballast resistor right here, and we'll check power to that. If we're good there, then we'll start digging into the coil or the distributor. Yep, there's definitely an electric fuel pump. I have to figure out a way of just disconnecting that. So we have power here. It's hard to see. We have power there. Oh yeah, 4.7 volts to there. So if we have volts to there, then we should have volts to here. This is so crusty. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so you definitely have voltage to the coil. Ooh. The ballast resistor is actually broken, but it's still working somehow. All right, so we have power to that. We kill the power to the fuel pump. Let's just crank from here. Kind of wants to. We still have crank power here. There it goes. So that's working. Will the key work now? Nope, not at all. So definitely have a bad wire to the ignition. And now there it goes. Huh. All right, we'll have to come back to that. All right, so we got power, sorta, to the coil. I smell gas. This is the thing that sucks, is this oil bath. Gonna make a mess. Question is, can I take the whole thing out without spilling any of it? These rubber hoses are not very good. I just bought this switch and already bent the freaking connector. is it working so good earlier and now it's not? That's being a pain in the ass. Connection's just bad down there. It is loose. Okay, we'll take that off and try to fix that. Do you have bypass power? Nah, not really. Oh yeah, there is. I'm gonna crank it real quick just to see what happens. Alright, so all I did was spray a little ether in there and she cranked over. So yeah, getting somewhere. So now, are we getting fuel from the fuel tank? It's a really weird carburetor. What in the world kind of contraption is that? Tap, 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 maybe? Should probably disconnect the fuel line and see if it's actually pumping fuel or not. The only way I can seem to crank it is from the key, which I guess isn't a bad thing. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that fuel line off there and see if it's pumping. If it is, then cool. If not, you never know what's actually pumping into the thing. What size is that? Good guess. Let me get some cleaner and clean some of that stuff off. I got the fuel line disconnected. See if it pumps anything. Oh yeah. How bad does that smell? That shouldn't smell that bad. I'd rather have it disconnected so it's not dumping fuel everywhere. It didn't even look that dirty. Alright, let's crank her again. The way it wants to run, I think part of it has to do with probably the ignition. Well, obviously, we're missing wires. Alright, so let's change wires. See what happens that way. Because that fuel actually doesn't smell too bad. So I did just want to show this real quick. It does have a plate on it with a date. So right there, 2013. So it's been off the road for, what, 13 years? Does that make it? August? Yeah, so 13 years. Or almost 13 years. A couple months will be 13. So I don't see any reason why it won't run. We just got to get these, we got to tighten the plugs. I know some of the plugs are loose. And change out the plug wires, and we may have a runner. Then we'll have to do something about that, so I can actually sit somewhere and possibly drive it. So I cranked it a little bit to see if it was building oil pressure. It seemed like it was, but I think the gauge might be stuck. Ain't making any funky noises. We definitely got to figure out what's, well, between ballistic or the ballast resistor, is a ballistic ballast resistor, and it looks like the oil pressure gauge is a electric. That may be why. But yeah, squirrel. But just change his plug wires out. Maybe, I mean, I don't like running full voltage to a coil when it needs to be reduced, but if the ballast resistor is bad, we might have to do that just to get it to run longer. I think we'll start with the wires. All right, I got all the wires replaced. Checked all the spark plugs. They're all tight and clean now. We know it fires, so let's go ahead and try to start it now. And I think this ballast resistor is going to be an issue because it should shoot full juice to it to start it, but not to maintain it. So that's going to be the issue we're going to have, I think. So let's go ahead and try it. I got the microphone off, so you can actually hear the engine when it runs. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see what happens. Or attempt to fire it up, I should say. So like the key is the way to go. Did you hear that? It's trying to run. but it ain't getting it's not getting the spark it needs. Let me try something. Some of the things you always want to have with you when you're doing revivals is wiring, or wire, so that we can get in here. Hopefully get it to make contact here. Put it to the power over here. It's typically not the way you want to do it, but we got a bad ballast resistor, so we got to try something just to see if we can get it to, if it'll stay running. All right, let's try that. And I know ether ain't the best thing either, but I don't want that to happen. Let's see what kind of voltage we're getting now. No, you're getting full voltage now, or at least 10 volts. To make this connectors better, it'll probably work a lot better. It really wants to go. So I'm going to do something a little more permanent here. Well, we got our semi running, but the fuel just ain't catching. Probably bad fuel. Hey, she's running. Kind of saw you was pulling fuel too. All right, so what do we gotta do? We need a better ignition system. Probably clean all this off of here. See how dirty that is? Clean all that off. See what we can do to make it work and run longer. Try to see the battery here. Should have checked to see if it's charging. What are the odds of that happening? Just doing some research on this truck. Apparently 1955 is the only year they had a big back window back here. 53, 54 was a two-piece window, or two ports. I don't know, I have to find some pictures of it. But we definitely need to clean it here if we're gonna sit in here. But we gotta get some wiring done and try to get this thing to run on its own. But like I said, that ballast resistor is toast. Maybe I can search around here and find another one that we can use. So like, I know Ford's had them, Dodge's had them, but I don't know. We'll just see what we can find. Is that a voltage regulator? It is. So I bet you well, they actually have it bypassed. See how they wired together? So if that's working, it's because it's bypassed. But anyways, so yeah, we definitely have a runner, which is cool. We just got to get to run longer and see if it's actually pulling fuel, if we can just dump fuel in the tank, or what did I do with the gas tank, or the gas cap? Have to find out. I didn't wire anything extra. Look at it, it's just running. Not great, but it's running. Probably because we get crappy fuel from the tank. I figured I better check the coolant just to be sure. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is full with green. Well, almost full. It's just below the top hose level, but it's more than enough to keep it running for a little while once we do. So I think fuel might be the issue at this point. I sucked something down in the tank to see how much there is, and there's at least 6 inches of fluid in there. It smells okay. It doesn't smell horrible, but I have no way of testing to see if it's flammable out here. I'm not going to try to catch something on fire out in this dry field. So, but yeah, I think that gas probably is all right. Maybe we could just add some more to it at some point, but we're not ready for that yet. So I can't believe how well it's actually running just the way it is. So just by adding a little starter fluid. So start playing around with the choke a little bit. Listen to her idle. Doesn't like gas. Doesn't like you giving it gas though. But I mean, the fuel pump's pumping. I didn't add any ether that time. It just fired right up with the choke. So I don't know. This carburetor's definitely mucked up pretty good. Let's try starting again with the choke closed. See if it'll fire up again. It doesn't mind a choke, that's for sure. You open it up a little bit. It'll idle fine. Choke's wide open. Yeah, as soon as you give it some gas, it just kills it. So it might be flooding it. But it seems to be working. Is there any chance the gas in there is like good enough to run it for a while? Probably not, but if we mixed in some fresh, we could probably make it run pretty good. But we're not gonna do that right away. We gotta get a bunch of other things figured out on it first. For one, I gotta clean it. And that's one of the things I'm not really looking forward to because I don't want to sit in that crap. And it's literally like, you know, raccoon poop right where you need to sit. Look at that. That's disgusting. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna pull the wires off so they don't get chewed up. We might go check out another one of the trucks I'm looking at, but we'll definitely come back to this and get her running and driving. I think I'm kind of burnt out on it right now, so I'm gonna go try out something different. That's a couple of days later and we're back at it here at the private junkyard, and we get back on this old International. Turns out it is a 55, and it's got a, what's it called, a SD 240 inline 6 in it. So we're gonna get this thing, well, let me pop the hood again and we'll take a look at it. This is the main thing we're gonna work on today, is we get this thing wired up to where everything's new, get a new ballast resistor put in there. Hopefully the one I got's right, because I don't have to go back and get a $35 one compared to the $18 one. But so if that one works, then great. If otherwise, I have to go back and get the one that's actually meant for this truck. We're gonna clean everything up in here, get everything, all this dirt off of here, all the grime off of here, and yeah, get it wired up. I'm not sure about as far as charging and everything, but as far as ignition goes, we're gonna replace all the wires to the starter, to the ballast resistor, to the coil here. And just make it, because it already works, so we're going to make it work better. I also got new plug wires for it. I'm not going to film any of it because it's just like long, boring wiring stuff. But we also got to clean it out today too. So if we do get to where it runs, I also brought a fuel tank so we can bypass this one. Since we know the fuel pump works, the electric fuel pump, we can put that, you know, put the boat tank in and have it pull from that instead. We definitely got to clean this crap out because it is nasty, and we need to be able to sit in here to drive it, so that's what we got to do. All right, so I got new ignition wires, new ballast resistor. The only thing I didn't replace the entire wire. I went to there for the starter wire, and I don't have cable big enough for the main power, but that's definitely going to be something I need to do in the future. But it's working, so let's go ahead and crank her just to see what happens. If it fires, then we're doing good because there's no gas to it right now. Nope. So, coil, power. Let me just spray some fuel in there. All right, just use brake clean. There you have it. got to be running off of fuel that's in the carburetor, because I only sprayed a little bit just to get it started. It's crazy. The fuel pump isn't hooked up right now because I didn't want it running all the time, but that wire is right here. So I'm kind of curious if this orange wire right here's got power to it with the key on. We need to test that. If that is, then I'd rather have it going to there rather than going to the ignition wire that goes to the ignition. I figured I'd check to see if the headlights work, and they sure do. But this orange wire that's here, that's full-time 12 volts. So you need to find a keyed on 12 volts only. So not sure we're going to find that at. Okay, that's the horn relay. That is a horn. I'd love to hear what that thing sounds like. It's got to be cool as heck. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, we still got a runner, and it does fire up nicely. We're back. It's been a few days since I've been out to the lot, out to the yard, whatever you want to call it. And today we're going to do some cleanup on the International. And if you notice, I got a watch cap on. It's May 6th, and it's 44 degrees out here. What is up with that? At least the sun's coming out, so I'll probably end up losing this in a few minutes. But yeah, we got to get this cab cleaned out. I'm sleeping in there right now, but yeah, this is gnarly, and we got to get it cleaned out so we can, well, at one point we're going to have to drive it. I also want to get everything figured out as far as the PTO, the 2-speed rear end, make sure everything works and can engage and whatnot. We got to get all this stuff out of here first. And, oh, there's a rake. Huh, that'd be cool. I can use that to help clean it out. But, yeah, that's what we got to do. We got this interior cleaned out. Got a carb kit coming to rebuild the carburetor, at least replace the, well, I also ordered just the accelerator pump, what's it called, diaphragm, the little rubber piece. So we'll get that, once that comes in, we'll get that rebuilt, and that should make it run and drive. And I want to grab some of the fuel out of this too and see if it'll burn. If it'll burn, I'm not going to try it here. I'll take it home with me and try it at the house. But because I don't want to take any chance of anything catching on fire out here. But so yeah, we'll get a sample of that and take it home so we can test it to see if it burns. If it burns, we can just leave it and let it do its thing, and maybe put a filter in line. That way we at least get some filtered fuel. But yeah, this is the main thing we're going to do today, is get this thing cleaned out. So there's nothing more to say than just to do it, right? So let's get into it. Alright, well, that's a lot better than 2 feet of mouse turds and raccoon turds, and still a lot to do, but I do have a vacuum, but it's new and I kind of don't want to use it yet. So even though I bought it specifically for doing this kind of stuff, I still don't really want to use it. It's a cordless Hercules one from Harbor Freight. So, but those holes down there were pretty full. Got a lot of that out, but that would be good for the vacuum to get that stuff out. I didn't get up underneath the dash yet, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of room under there for them to hide. So maybe in the heater box over there. It's got a neat little door in there. I wonder what that's for. It might be for vents. But anyways, that's a lot better. Now I gotta clean the seat a little bit. But other than that, I think we're pretty good for in here. And look at the wiring for the, I think that's for the 2-speed rear end. I'm not sure where the controls are for the dump bed. I don't see them unless that's it, but pretty sure it's got a 2-speed rear end as well. Oh, maybe that's probably your the dump bed stuff right there. So I'll have to get that stuff figured out, figure out where it goes, how it works. Probably rewire the switch for the 2-speed rear end, because I don't know what the 3 wires are. Maybe a ground and 2 powers, one to power one way, one to power the other. I don't know. I'm not familiar with them yet. but I will be. You can see it does have the switching mechanism back there, so it is a 2-speed rear end. That's what usually the button is on the shifter right there. So, and these right here, I'm guessing are for the PTO and the dump bed. But we'll figure that all out as we go. All right, I was playing around with the PTO controls, and as you can see, and I'll see if I can find a video of me with these out. But this was out all the way, so I got it moving. Still really sticky though, so it's like you can't control it from up here yet, but I'm working on it. This one here also moved. I got to pull it out a little bit further. So when you pull it out, that actually, see, pushing it, shuts it off. Pulling it out turns it on, if I remember right. Let's see, yeah, on that one, pulling it out turns it on. Pushing it in shuts it off, I think. And this one, you pull it out, is normally off, and in is normally on. So that's what we got to play with when we come get around to it. I didn't get around to the wiring yet. I did pull some fuel out of it to test at the house. Like I said, I don't want to test it here because I don't want to catch anything on fire. And got the seats out, put the frame back in because, well, the seats disconnect from it completely, so can't nest in that. But just throw them in the back right here for now. I'll get back to those later, but they're so nasty. The seat part, the part you sit down in, is so full, and it's got like a backing on it, but you can't get it to fall out the bottom of it, so it's just nasty. The top ain't too bad, but you know, we'll be back to this when we get the carb kit. Hopefully, like sometime this week by Friday. Today's Wednesday, so hopefully I get it before Friday, so I have it for the weekend at least. But yeah, making progress on it. So we got the inside cleaned out. We got some of the PTO controls working. I got everything soaking, so you know it's one of those things. Like even because there's a on the dash right there. The bottom one is choke, and the top one is for throttle. So you give it throttle to bring up the RPMs to run the dump bed. So and still got to wire the PTO, like I said. But we'll figure it all out. See, I'm down to a t-shirt again. It's still chilly, but it's not so cold that I need a jacket anymore. But I was crawling underneath the truck and didn't have anything to lay on, so got all kinds of crap on it, like stickers and whatnot. So gotta get those off of it before I put it back on. But that's part of working in a yard like this. Well, everybody, we are back home. It's the next day, and I brought home a fuel sample from the International, so we can see if it burns. If it burns, we can just keep it in there, maybe add a little fresh. But if it doesn't burn, then we know we can have to drain the tank and get rid of it. So we're gonna put a little bit here on the table, and then light it on fire and see if it burns. Got some there. Get the torch. So take your bets. Is it going to burn? Is it good enough to run that International? Look at that. She burns just fine. Definitely got some water in it though. Probably be better off draining it and getting rid of it, but there's a lot in that tank. So we can make it work. Yeah, there's an awful lot of water in that. So we might be better off draining it and just putting fresh in. Shouldn't be too hard. We got 12 volt. I mean, it's got a electric pump on it, so we just disconnect the rubber hose coming from it and fill some tanks. Take some of my jugs with me. We can fill it up. Could probably use this in the lawnmower, if nothing else. Definitely doesn't quite light up like fuel should. Let's try it again. I mean, it does burn. See how it's popping? Means it's got something in it other than fuel, but it's burning better now. This is why I didn't want to test it in the field because, it's fire and it's dry grass out there. Just like playing with fire at home, you know. I honestly think that will work to run that truck. There's definitely water in it though. You see how it's wet still. That should have evaporated by now. I don't know. It definitely burns. It's just definitely not clean. I'm really surprised it hasn't evaporated yet. But, you know, we'll probably use it. I might probably take some tanks out there just to see if it'll, you know, if we can drain it and see how much is actually in it and put some fresh in. All right, it's been about a week, but we're back to the International over here, the R160 or 162 if you go by the tag. And carb kit came in. So we're gonna pull the carb off of there, rebuild on the tailgate over here, and see if we can get this thing to run and idle and have an accelerator pump, because that was the main problem. It was idling on its own. So get an accelerator pump going on it, and we should be able to drive the thing, hopefully out of the hole today. All right, so I think what we're gonna do, even though it looks like, oh, it just needs to be tightened. It looks like that bolt was loose before. So, I don't know. I might just pull the bowl back or the top back off of it and just replace the accelerator pump for now, just to save time. And I got the whole kit. I bought just the accelerator pump diaphragm by itself too. So, so let me just pull that top off again, and we're gonna just replace that diaphragm. It'll be a lot easier. If that doesn't help, then we'll rebuild the whole thing. Well, if I were to venture a guess, let's see, that's the wrong one, but it might not be. There's that one there. This one has that big one in it too, so I don't know. We'll just pull it off there and we'll know for sure. It actually fell off down inside there. So major problem at that point. It definitely looks smaller than that black one. Hopefully the blue one will be the one that will work. All right, so we had to go with the blue one. You can see it just slips right over top of it. Ain't a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna replace the gasket because it was sealing before. So see if this will fix it and if we can run it this way. Okay, so the fuel pump works and it filled the bowls up, but I think this fuel might be bad. And we tested it at home. Remember, it kind of burned, but kind of didn't. So we're gonna try starting it with some brake clean, just because that's what I have. If it'll start, and we'll see if it'll run off of that fuel or not. See, it wants to. I'll be back. Damn it, she was running. I don't know what the heck is going on now. Gotta be careful because the throttle sticks too. There it goes. No. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think the carb really does need to be rebuilt. Let's see if I can make it run long enough to move it. call that a success. It moved. Just got to figure out how to keep it running. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fuel. But it seems to be running off the fuel. So let's try hooking up the fuel pump again. Maybe that'll, maybe it's good enough to make it run longer. I don't know. It's about time for a new tripod holder thingy. That gas might be crap, but it's working. Mostly. Radiator has coolant in it though, so nice green coolant. A little milky now. Just a little milky now, but it's okay. Probably just because it's old water. Man, thing's pretty cool. It steers really easy. It's funny how those big trucks actually do. But yeah, we got her moving and driving. I think that's going to do it for this 1955 International R160 or 162 if you look by the tag. Revival. So it's been off the road for at least 13 years. I know it's the tags say, so you know, pretty close to that at least. I definitely, it's probably something I do want to keep because I'd like to make some kind of a ramp truck, or because it is a dump bed, and we will get that running at some point. I just realized there's another gas tank underneath there that I didn't notice before, but maybe that's for hydraulic fluid, I don't know. Like I said, we'll worry about that later on, getting the dump feature figured out, getting the 2-speed rear end rewired because that's all chewed up. But I think we did pretty good. We got to drive around the yard, which is really fun actually. It ran good. It steers nice, for surprisingly, with no power steering. But these gear ratios for the steering boxes were so low that it made it real easy. So, but yeah, I think we're gonna leave it here, and we'll get back to it to do some more stuff to it and fix her up and make her more roadworthy. So if you like this video, leave a like down there, leave me a comment, let me know what I can do better. Subscribe while you're at it, why not? It's free. Turn on your notifications, tell your friends, share my videos, do all that good stuff. I guess there's a hype thing now too. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but you can. But on that note, if you made it to the end, I appreciate it. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.